The man never imagined that after being kicked out of his party, the restaurant he opened would start doing so well. Meanwhile, his former party was on the verge of falling apart. Without him as their main force, their quests kept ending in failure, leading to a crisis of trust between the leader and the members. His close friend, the redhead, came to plead with him, asking him to return, but he refused without hesitation, because he's now fully enjoying his second life as a chef. Even though his regulars are all problem children, everyone loves the food he cooks with his own hands. He won't trade this cozy life just to go back and suffer again. However, things still happen here that give him a real headache. For instance, he recently noticed his poster girl hanging out with another guy, making him suspect that Aido has a boyfriend. It feels as if the daughter he's raised for years is suddenly being snatched away. Unless the guy is at least level 80, he'll never approve. Just then, Aido suddenly walked in, asking what the two of them were talking about. Luckily, Bibian was quick-witted, claiming she was just learning how to cook from the boss. When Aido asked to join in, his worries vanished instantly. Having never chopped onions before, Aido couldn't help but tear up. Saying this, he quickly taught her a special technique. Bibian, on the other hand, wasn't quite as lucky.
Oh, that one.
Then I shall...
Watching Aido learn so earnestly, he couldn't help but recall his mother teaching him to cook as a child. By the time he snapped out of it, Aido had already called his name several times. Under his patient and careful guidance, a steaming bowl of katsudon was soon ready. The chef showered Aido with praise. But when it was Bibian's turn, just then, a bell suddenly chimed. Hearing it, Aido mentioned she had to head out for a bit, though she didn't specify where she was going. Upon hearing this, our protagonist immediately got a bad feeling. So after tasking Bazir with some supply shopping, he and Bibian began to shadow Aido in secret. He justified it as the duty and obligation of a guardian, and the result was exactly as he had feared. Aido was indeed meeting up with that young boy. He was so enraged that he nearly crushed the stone wall with his bare hands. Then the boy led Aido into a jewelry store, leading the chef to mistakenly assume they were picking out wedding rings. No matter how you look at it, that's just impossible. To help him shake off this ridiculous notion, Bibian came up with a plan. He decided to use a magic tool to eavesdrop on their conversation, but unexpectedly what they heard only deepened the misunderstanding.
This looks good.
Nandu!
You know I need sleep, run you down. The duo's frantic antics soon attracted a crowd of onlookers, including an elderly woman. Unaware that her purse had already been targeted by a thief. Realizing the situation, the two immediately stopped eavesdropping and took off after the thief instead. Meanwhile, Haley and Bazir happened to be nearby shopping for supplies. They were just wondering why their boss was flying through the air when the thief ran right into them. Hearing the shouts to stop thief the next second was a total disaster for the culprit.
Good afternoon, dancer.
Oh great, that was awesome. Back at the inn, the two women were in disbelief when they heard about Etio. Our hero also hoped it was all a misunderstanding, but he couldn't quite convince himself. As they spoke, Eto walked in and headed straight for him. Looking a bit bashful, she finally pulled out her giftie. He took the bag and opened it to find a bracelet inside. It turned out that during this time Eto had been saving up her money and had even consulted with a jeweler to finally get a bracelet that perfectly matched his eye color. This proved once and for all that Eto didn't have a boyfriend. It was all just a product of his overactive imagination. Skated, and you got home.